of techniques for electric guitar that are kind of important because they're used in so many songs, and these techniques, once you develop them, can be an intricate part of your style or your own sound. And I think the subtleties is really what separates a great player from a good player, is being able to listen and really pay attention to the little things. But in this example, I'm going to start with a basic bend. This is a typical full step bend, which means you're going to go a 2-fret distance in pitch. So in other words, if I'm going to bend this note, I'm actually bending it to this sound. And that's how you know when you're in pitch. You get this in your head, and then bend till you hear that note. That is a pretty important bend. This is in rock. You're going to hear this a lot, and you may want to set it up with a little slide. You're going to slide up like this and bend. Another technique that's important is vibrato, and there's lots of different styles. B.B. King has a distinct vibrato, and a lot of blues men have vibratos that are kind of fast, a little uneven, and it causes a little tension. It's a good sound for blues, and it's usually a little more frantic, like this. Now, if you vibrato a note for a lot of rock music, a little slower is what you. I think this sounds really good, and it'll help sustain the note, and it does create a little style, a little feeling in your playing. So it would be a slower vibrato would be. Sliding is another technique that really sounds great, and you can slide up to any note in your scale. If you're going to hit this note, that's cool, but it's a little boring. But you can slide up to it, or even slide down to it. So you pick the note before you get there. You pick the string, and you just put pressure on the neck and just slide up to whatever note you're going to play. So we're going to practice the bend, and I'm going to put vibrato on the end of the bend. Another technique that I love is doing a half-step bend. So instead of a distance of 2 frets, you're just using a 1-fret distance. And the only thing that's important is that you, any note that you're going to hit, if you go a fret before it, you can bend a half step and it'll sound really sweet. So in a scale, if I was going to hit this note, I can bend it here. And again, it just adds a little style to it. So it'll sound like... Now let's talk about the tremolo. A lot of guitars nowadays have these whammy bars, they call them, and there's a lot of techniques and tricks you can do with them. One of them just using a, if you do like that, it'll create a cricket sound. So you can hit a note and create an effect. But mostly they're famous for the dive bomb, where you can hit a note and just drop this forward, and it'll lower the pitch of the string to the point where it sounds like an explosion. One of my favorite techniques is to use a harmonic, where you tap the string above the fretboard, you barely touch it, you hit the harmonic and pull your finger away. They're all over the neck. In fact, you can actually just run the palm of your hand down the string and hear them. So you can get harmonics just about anywhere, but with the whammy, it creates a really nice effect. So you can start with the dive bomb, hit a harmonic, and pull it up like this. I also like to use the arm for vibrato. It's a wider vibrato. It's great for aggressive or rock music. It's great for that. example of a half-step bend because these are really tasty, great licks or riffs they call them. This one's going to be in a key of A, and I'm going to use a half-step bend, and I'm going to start rocking it up and back down. Go to the next string, do the same thing. And of course I'm bending to this note, which is part of your scale.